Welcome back to Dominant Mets Nation. And you know what? Whatever you think, this team is not ready. We are not ready to do anything of significance. Nonetheless, win. That was a game right there that the Mets should have won. They had ample opportunity to add on many times throughout the game. And then at the end of the game was an absolute disgrace. Disgrace. And I got to say, I pin that on one man and one man alone. Yes, that was an eighth inning from hell. Yes, Johan Ramirez was the man surrendering all those runs. But the fact of the matter is, this bullpen and this team has been extremely mismanaged. I don't know how the inside workings of the clubhouse were in spring training. I don't know the dynamics of spring training, but nothing is looking and working right on this team. The defense, which is supposed to be elite, has been letting us down play after play, inning after inning. I mean, you saw it. There were ample times, whether they scored an error or not, we misplayed too many balls. Too many balls. You give the team extra outs, a professional baseball team will take advantage of it. Okay, now we're gonna point to the eighth inning from hell as being a disaster. Obviously, the goal of the game, in my opinion, is Carlos Mendoza. Carlos Mendoza, I don't understand how you leave a guy in the game who clearly doesn't have it. You saw Jorge Lopez finally get up when the inning is almost over, when you're down by 3 or 4 runs, and then you get Julio Teheran, your starter for Monday. You get him up. There's clearly no plan. There's no thought process, and that translates to the team. There is no confidence in this man, Carlos Mendoza. The players don't feel like they're confident in this guy. They don't play for this man. I mean, this is why the firing of Buck Showalter was completely clueless. You had a guy at the end of the day that could take a young team with rookies, a team that wants to get better gradually. At least they would be led by a guy who has baseball IQ and a guy who has experience. Carlos Mendoza looking at probably Gibbons saying, what do I do now? What do I do now? I'm not confident in that. Nobody's confident in that. So there's actually two GOATs in this game. One, Carlos Mendoza. Two, Francisco Lindor can't obviously buy a hit. Nimmo, I clap hands for him. He's getting off the snide. Narvaez, if the Mets would have won the game, obviously he would have been the game MVP, getting those clutch hits when we were down 2-0 to tie the game. And then Nimmo getting another big double for us to go ahead. We tacked on a run later on, but then the Reds, their pesky, good, young team, they fought back. 5-4, 5-5, 3-run homer by Steer. He's a really good ball player. Then they add on another run, and that was Oshie Road. But the New York Mets right now do not look like a team that can really do sustainable damage. Really, I mean, you hear during this game that Spencer Strider for the Atlanta Braves could be out a significant period of time. I mean, that's an opportunity. You know, we don't wish injuries, but it happens in Major League Baseball. Gives ample opportunities for other teams to kind of seize the moment, for them to maybe catch up to an Atlanta Braves. But you know what? The New York Mets don't seem to want that. Luis Severino went out there, gave him 5 strong innings, only, I think, gave up 2 runs, but he was only responsible for 1. But for a guy like Luis Severino, that was a big step in the right direction. I think he had like 7 or 8 strikeouts. Bottom line, besides the second inning, he did fabulous. I was ecstatic. Little did I know the bullpen situation was extremely terrible. I don't know, what they could have done. Actually, it's not my job to know what they could have done. If they know that Johan Ramirez would have had to go multiple innings, You treat this game differently. Diekman, maybe you throw him more than what you did. Jorge Lopez, maybe you get him in early in the game. The fact of the matter is, Johan Ramirez pitched 3 innings the other day. So going into this game, I'm not going to expect him to pitch multiple innings. If that was the thought process, if that was the strategy, bad planning. Bad planning. No wonder why. No wonder why this. And it's just to watch Johan Ramirez just give this away, knowing that's my plan. This guy's got to save the team. And then when we're still 3 runs out, he's still pitching when you know he doesn't have anything left. It just doesn't make any sense. We are giving up so many games in the beginning of this year by bad management. Bad management. It's these situations right now where if I'm a player and I see my manager not seizing the moment, not treating every out, every play like it's literally the last game or significant, I'm not going to take it serious. It's just the mentality is not killer instinct. There is no killer instinct there. It's just horrible. It's terrible. You got Lindor, who, like I said, he is the captain of this team. I got 2 goats of the game, Mendoza and Lindor. No doubt about it. These guys are supposed to lead by example, and they're not doing it. They're not doing it. The camera caught Mendoza in the heat of this situation where Yohan Ramirez can't buy it out. He's smirking in the dugout next to Gibbons. You can't really make this up. It's abysmal right now. Abysmal. I'm planning on us having a 3-game win streak, and we just can't execute. We cannot execute. We can't play defense, and I'm just waiting for us to make misplay after misplay. Even in the middle of the 8th inning, you got the bunt that gets through the hole. Beatty lets the ball go through, thinks Lindor is there. It's just one thing at the other. There's a balk. Novires misplays a ball. I mean, that's like the 7th or 8th misplay. And then if you go back to the second inning, when the Reds scored a couple runs in that inning, there's a couple more misplays in that inning. It's just like, what do we expect? What do we expect? And it going back to the second inning, which I think kind of jump started like the negativity in this game, was the ball that was hit down the left field line. It was hit, and Aaron Taylor is pursuing the ball and misplays it like a little leaguer. He misplayed it like a little leaguer, kind of like ran past the ball. The ball goes little before him, bounces on the warning track, and it's a 2-run double. That is misplayed. They didn't score an error, but that's a ball. That's a play you have to make if you're a professional. You certainly have to make that play if you're a professional. Then when they put another thing, in the second inning, I was so surprised. They put the defense in. I think it was 1st and 3rd. The ball was hit at McNeil. McNeil misplayed it. So in that inning, I want to give Severino a bit of credit. There were multiple misplayed balls, and he was still able to overcome that inning. Then after that, in the 3rd inning, 1, 2, 3, he responded well. So Severino, I really can't fault this game. I couldn't expect that much. The defense really didn't bail him out. He had to overcome. He had to strike out quite a few guys. And then, the offense all throughout the game, we've had our opportunities. I can't take Bader anymore. I cannot take Bader. This guy, you throw him a curveball, you throw him a changeup, he looks like a little leaguer. It is just unbelievable. Navarre is the only shining light, and Nimmo, decent. Those are the only 2 guys who did decent this game. Narvaez and Nimmo. Without those 2 guys, we're down like 9-0. So at the end of the day right now, I mean, I'm looking at my notes. It's very frustrating. It's extremely frustrating. I don't know what to say. We're just not ready. We're just not ready. Yes, you could look on the bright side. Alvarez is, obviously didn't play. Martinez is coming in a couple days. The pitching, as I forgot who mentioned it, Ron Darling or Gary Cohn, they said we had the second best ERA. Well, not after this game, but we had the second best ERA going into this game. So we had a lot of good vibes. We won a 2-game winning streak. I always like to see how will the team respond? How will the team respond? Because how we are today is not how we're going to be tomorrow. We can build, we can get better, but it's games like this that tend to lead to a setback. And that's not what I want. I want to progressively get better. And Mendoza is the guy I'm going to highlight. The way he's managing the bullpen is abysmal, and there is no excuses. I know there was a doubleheader the other game. I know there was a doubleheader, but you have to do things differently. If Tehran was going to be the plan, if you plan on using him, then you should have incorporated him in the plan earlier. To have him go up in the 8th inning like you're just thinking of that now, that is not a plan. That's not a plan. So bottom line, the Mets have to get a lot better at execution. We all know that. But their leadership is a problem on the field and obviously in the dugout. That is something that has to get fixed ASAP. Or else, what can we expect? What could we expect? A lot of losing, yes, but that's not what obviously we want as fans. We want the team to progressively get better. So this was not a good game, obviously, not a good game. We gave it to the Reds. The Reds fans, thank us. Reds, you got to thank us. We gave you that game. Gave you. And you know, a lot of games, we haven't played any teams that I think are top contenders, obviously. We played the Reds, the Tigers, and the Brewers. Despite being good teams, I don't think these are teams that are going to be competing for a World Series. So we're going to have to step up our game, and we're going to be playing better competition. So I would like, obviously, we still have a chance to take the series, but we got to play a lot better. We got to play a lot better. And Severino, it would have been nice to secure the win for Mr. Severino, but bad management. And Johan Ramirez, I hope he still has an arm because it's unless it's a 10-15 run blowout, I don't understand why you're having a guy take one for the team. As Gary Cohen said, you should have a plan that doesn't have a guy when it's only a 3-run game supposedly taking one for the team. You're giving up wins. You're giving up wins. It is unacceptable. So drop a comment, like, subscribe. Speak to you soon. Can't get any worse. Looks like it's going to you.